Hey everyone, Latin here again, and I'm bringing you some of my Premier Cup matches. I decided to just bring you the unfavorable matchups because, well, you learn more from those, and the favorable matchups, would just be boring and straightforward. So here we go. My Togekiss faces off against the Metagross. I switch immediately to Gyarados, which surprisingly does well against Metagross because Crunch does a super effective damage against the Psychic typing. So against this Togekiss, I go straight for the Hydro Pump, and surprisingly, they take it. I guess they were hoping for the Shield Bait, and that helped me out a lot because that almost took out the Togekiss. Bring in my Togekiss to finish the job. I can't bring in my Garchomp because Togekiss absolutely walls Garchomp. So yes, of course, they bring back in their Metagross, and I'm willing to just let my Togekiss go down, but look at what happens. They have all that energy saved up and they use an Earthquake. I have no idea why, but I think it saved the match there. So out comes my Garchomp, which does well against the Steel typing of the Metagross with the ground moves. And they have a Swampert in the back, so this is going to be tricky because Swampert is so spammy with those Hydro Cannons. And Garchomp tanks them pretty well though because it does neutral damage. Dragon resists water, but the ground typing takes super effective damage, so it's neutral. So this isn't such a bad matchup for Garchomp. I'm using my shield here to stay in the game. Switch into my Togekiss. I have some energy saved up, so this isn't going to do much damage, but any chip damage I can do to this Swampert is needed. This should take out my Togekiss. It does, and it doesn't actually. I have like 1 HP, which takes out the Swampert, fortunately. And back in comes my Garchomp against this Metagross. And this is a race to the finish. Will Metagross reach a Meteor Mash? No, it can't. The Mud Shots managed to take it out. This second match, this is the same team, Togekiss, Garchomp, Gyarados. Another bad matchup. Switching to my Gyarados, and here we have the battle of the Dragon Breath users. Gyarados does better in this match because it doesn't take super effective damage while Dragonite does. So the mighty Dragonite is about to go down to the Gyarados. Haven't used any shields, and I'm left with a sliver of life, unable to get to the Crunch to force a shield from that Metagross. So of course I'll bring in my Garchomp, not the Togekiss. And the PvPoke recommends Earthquake on Garchomp. I prefer Sand Tomb because it's much more spammy and lowers defense and does a reasonable amount of damage to those steel types. They bring in the Excadrill. I could have stayed in and done some super effective damage with my ground moves, Sand Tomb. However, Togekiss gets totally walled by Metagross, so I choose to separate it from the Metagross and let it face off against the Excadrill. And as you can see, it brings down the Excadrill to... It actually takes out the Excadrill. Even though we're at a shield disadvantage, we're still better off because Sand Tomb is going to lower the Metagross's defense, and all I have to do is just Mud Shot this Metagross down. So yeah, they used up all their shields, but that will not make them escape from the fast move damage. And I have 1 shield to stay in the game. And I managed to get to another Sand Tomb. That's how spammy it is. And down they go. And so in this match here, I use a slightly different team. Garchomp in the lead with 2 steel types in the back. Let's go. Dragonite lead, switch into the Scizor immediately. They switch into their Metagross. But the super spammy bug type, steel type Scizor with dark moves is going to do super effective damage against this Metagross. And there's also the chance of the attack boost, and that attack boost does so much damage. It helps so much in these matchups. Here we go. I reach another charge move here, and I have another one saved up for whatever is going to come out now. Let's see what comes out. The Dragonite, of course. So I'm just going to spam as much Night Slashes as I can onto this Dragonite and chip that damage down. My plan is because my plan is to bring back in the Metagross. No, to bring in the Metagross to finish off this Dragonite. I can take whatever it's going to dish out here without going down. It's a Dragon Claw, not super effective. It's resisted, and out comes the bulky Snorlax. How well can it stand up against these outrages from this powerful Garchomp? Let's see. That does more than a third of damage, looks like. And Garchomp can't stand up well enough against these body spams. One more outrage should do it on this bulky Snorlax. Let's go. Down it goes. And it's just for the Metagross to take out this Dragonite. There's no way this Dragonite is going to win. I have a shield. And yes, and they just back out at this point. Going into this last match here, the same team, Scizor and Metagross in the back, supporting Garchomp in the front. Now I have to switch out here because those Dragon Breaths are going to do super effective damage against Garchomp. So Scizor against Gyarados. Let's see how this goes. They're staying in. So I'm going to spam these Night Slashes as much as I can. Chip down that damage. I'm probably not going to win that matchup, but they switch into Magnezone. I'm not going to win this matchup either, but I can chip down that Magnezone and bring back in my Garchomp, which totally walls Magnezone. I'm not even going to need any shields against this Magnezone here. Right. And look at this. Mirror Shot. It does absolutely nothing to this Garchomp, although there's a chance of it lowering defenses. But it didn't, fortunately, and down goes the Magnezone. What are they bringing out now? Back into the Gyarados. And an Outrage should take it out. They shield, wisely they shield, and I choose to switch to my Metagross because it's going to resist those Dragon Breath damage. And they bring in their own Metagross. Are they going to shield this? And they don't, and it's devastating. It's devastating onto that Metagross. And basically that sealed the match for me there. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you soon in more videos.